Ever since August 2019, I have been dying to see this movie. Now that it's hitting theaters, I am so happy to say that 1917 is perfection. 1917 is a 2019 war drama film written and directed by Sam Mendes, and it is about two British soldiers in World War I that have to deliver a message to prohibit the British Army from striking an attack. And that is because the Germans have set up an attack waiting for the British to come in order to strike them. And as these two British soldiers are on this mission, things go to complete hell. They face the hardships of World War I and have to go through the entire trauma and horrors of the battlefield and entrenched warfare. There is a lot of things I need to talk about this movie. If there is a movie that is extremely well directed, incredibly well shot and choreographed, and has perfect set designs, it has to go to 1917 because almost everything about this movie works. Words cannot honestly describe about the experience watching this movie in theaters. My jaw dropped out on almost everything that was presented in this movie when I saw it in the cinemas. Everything from the cinematography, the directing, the one-shot take edit to make you feel as if the entire movie is one shot. It's all handled perfectly, and I have to give this movie to Sam Mendes because I am so impressed that a movie like this exists in our generation. Sam Mendes does an amazing job crafting 1917. And the way how he made this movie was that he wanted the audience to have a very unsettling and disturbing experience to show the horrors of the First World War through cinema. And it was very similar to how Steven Spielberg approached Saving Private Ryan to make the D-Day sequence very graphic. And with 1917, you're going to get a lot of gruesome images and a lot of brutal feelings of the First World War and how difficult it was for the soldiers to tolerate trench warfare and the violence that they were seeing on the battlefield. And with 1917, Sam Mendes goes all out. What really impressed me the most was that how he was able to use suspense, silence, lighting, and darkness to create this type of unsettling experience right in front of your own eyes and to make the audience feel as if they were actually there in the battlefield. The thing I highly praise 1917 for is the beautiful and breathtaking cinematography by Roger Deakins, and I can literally see him get another Oscar after winning for Blade Runner 2049 because this is one of the most beautifully filmed movies I have ever seen. I was blown away by the screen, by the way how he was able to do all of these shots and to make it feel as if it was one continuous shot to make the audience feel as if they were witnessing every single second of the First World War, and including our characters that we see that have to deliver this message to the other British Army. Sound mixing and editing are two things I also highly praise from 1917 because Sam Mendes and his team had to use sound appropriately for the right scenes whenever characters were firing their weapons or whenever a plane crashed into the ground, or even times when characters had to enter dark locations and they had to incorporate silence. That really built a lot of tension and suspension, and I thought it was maneuvered very well from the way it was crafted. And I gotta praise the fact that each and every scene with big sound effects came at the right time and even gave me some jump scares. And normally people would complain about jump scares, but 1917 is that type of movie where it's earned and it's perfect at the right time whenever you get a jump scare from gunfire or explosions. If I'm being quite honest with y'all, there's really nothing else to say about 1917. Even though I've said a lot about the direction, cinematography, and sound effects, this is a visually beautiful film, and based on war movies, especially about World War I see 1917 getting better with age in the next 20 to 30 years. This movie will probably age extremely well, and I can see this movie becoming a classic up there with Lawrence of Arabia, All Quiet on the Western Front, Paths of Glory, and therefore I literally have to give 1917 a 10 out of 10. I can definitely see this movie winning Best Picture in the Oscars. It's that well directed and crafted, especially for the fact that Sam Mendes won Best Director at the Golden Globe Awards, and also for the fact that 1917 won Best Motion Picture in the Golden Globe Awards as well. It's that movie that is definitely up there with Lawrence of Arabia and All Quiet on the Western Front. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'm really happy that I got to review this movie, and I'm hoping that y'all have an amazing time. Thank you so much, guys.